Welcome to Bible Bites. I'm Pastor Dan, and we are reading through the Bible one small bite at a time. And we're in Matthew 7. We're going to pick up with verse 15, talking about a tree and its fruit, good and bad fruit. All right, Jesus says, "Beware of false prophets who come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly are ravenous wolves." What does Jesus mean by false prophets? That's anybody that speaks what is false, pretending that it's truth. They know probably that it's false, but they speak anyways, and they pretend or claim that it's truth. A lot of times, false prophets will say that they are speaking in the name of God, like that they have received a truth or revelation from God. And Jesus is saying, beware of those people. They come and they speak what is false. Whether they do it in the name of God or not, they are speaking what is false. And why did they do that? Why would they speak what is false? Well, they're like ravenous wolves. They're just looking to feed themselves. It's a greedy thing, right? They just want to feed off of whatever the outcome is. Usually, they gain attention. That's at least part of it. So Jesus says, he states 16, "You will recognize them by their fruits." By their fruits. Are grapes gathered from thorn bushes or figs from thistles? So fruits is symbolic of a person's actions, what comes forth, what comes out of them. Just as a tree grows fruits, it's what comes out of them. It's what is birthed out of how they function. So it's symbolic of what comes out of a person, what is grown out from them, their deeds, and what their deeds produce, the outcomes. So Jesus asks, "Are grapes gathered from thorn bushes?" Well, no, they're gathered from grapevines, right? From vineyards. Or are figs? Now, we're not probably real familiar with figs in the West, but do figs come from thistles? No, they come from a fig tree. So then Jesus continues. He says, "So every healthy tree bears good fruit, but the diseased tree bears bad fruit." So just like you're not going to get grapes from a thorn bush, you're also not going to get thorns from grape vineyards or from grapevines, right? So the opposite is true, and Jesus is saying a healthy tree bears good fruit. Now, Jesus isn't saying that healthy people, that true prophets or those that speak truth are going to be perfect. He's not saying that, but in general, the idea is that the outcome, what a person who is following in the way of God, what comes out to them is the character, the representation, the fruit of the Spirit of God. And verse 18 it states, "A healthy tree cannot bear bad fruit, nor can a diseased tree bear good fruit. So every tree that does not bear good fruit is cut down and thrown into the fire. Thus you will recognize them by their fruits." So what comes out of us, what we produce, the outcomes, that is important. God looks at that, and he does make judgments on that. But in general, we can make some judgments on that too. For what comes out of a person, we can judge, hey, that's disease, that's not healthy, that's, we know those things because we know what comes from a good tree and what comes from a bad tree, right? So yeah, that's what Jesus is saying. And those that don't bear good fruit, then they're going to be cut down and thrown in a fire. This is symbolic of judgment. And God is worthy to judge, right? He's the perfect and just judge. So, and Jesus is speaking to a people here, by the way, that know God's word. They understand what his will is. At least they should, because they had his word. And so we need to keep that in mind as well. All right, that's this week's video for Bible Bites, Matthew 7:15 through 20. And we'll pick up in verse 21 next video. See you then.